What are you going to do if your home isn't selling? The Vegas Market Edition. This is James and Denise from Vegas Real Estate Advisors. Denise, actually, I'm going to throw a number out right now, and it's staggering. So, in 2025, single family homes in Las Vegas, there were 36,500 listings, new listings. Of that number, only 22,000 sold. So that means that 38% of those homes are either didn't sell, off the market, or expired.
Right.
Can you imagine that?
Yes, because we've all been part of it.
And I mean, an entire year of trying to sell your home. Oh my goodness. So we're putting this together. We're going to talk about what to do if your home doesn't sell, why, and what to do about it. Okay? So we have a lot of homes that sit stagnant on the market, and there's a lot of things that have to do really with the pricing strategy. So there are a lot of homes that sit on the market, and you really, really need to understand why a home gets stagnant on the market. I think bullseye, first and foremost, is the pricing strategy.
Absolutely.
Homes are your most activity is really in the first 21 days, right?
Well, the 7 to 10 days is like if you know you did it right and it pops. But 21 days, it'll give you a good feel if you're priced right.
Right. So if you are overpriced, some things would happen would be very few showings, first and foremost. You're getting feedback about the price. That just isn't, not every buyer is conditioned to say, well, it's overpriced. I mean, yes and no, but if an agent is coming back to you and telling you, yeah, it's a little overpriced, that's something you need to take a look at. Your competitor, similar model homes, similar floor plan that they're selling is a big issue. And then no offers really in the first 30 days is a big, big sign.
Well, can you touch on how many showings do we need that usually will produce an offer?
I mean, we typically tell people that 10 showings equals an offer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's good activity. So there's a lot of, beyond pricing, our number one thing really is you have to have outstanding, stellar photography.
And not just the photography part, because that is where we can get a first impression, right? If your buyers are scrolling, they need to have that picture reach out and grab them in order to produce a showing. So the photos need to be incredible, professional, and in the right condition to have somebody want to see the inside of your home in person.
Yeah, let me tell everyone a little secret behind the scenes. We as agents, we are looking at home listings online, and we see the MLS data, right? That the clients do not see.
Right.
And I would say, other than buyers, we are the real experts because we see all of the blemishes, right? I mean, and we laugh about this stuff. We pull it up and say, hey, look at the picture of this toilet. Look at the picture
with
of this.
With the toilet seat up.
With the washer
like,
and dryer.
Why is that in there?
So things that are really a major, I'd say turn off. Let's call it turn off, right? Dark photos, cell phone photos are laughable. I mean, we're seeing
not even iPhone or Android.
Yeah.
New phone photos. Let's talk about like flip phone dark photos, that kind of thing, where they're standing up on a ladder trying to take an image. You must have professional photography, hands down.
Yeah, and we pick those out all day, every day. I mean, and on the flip side, if the photos are too fake.
Oh yeah.
Right? Our job as agents is to make it clickable, meaning we want you to click on that listing. And a lot of times, like, is this AI? Is this an AI photo? And now you have to say, virtually staged, but I know a lot of agents that take a photo and filter it through AI and say, stage this home virtually with artificial intelligence.
Now, on the flip side, of course, we work with buyers and we work with sellers. So the reason why we say that you cannot dupe the public and there's really no hiding anything is because when we walk in to 5 homes with a buyer, the buyers will stand in the house and say, this house looks nothing like the photos online. And it can go flip side. Sometimes we walk in and they say, oh, this is incredible. It looks so much better in person than those terrible photos. So we do see it both ways.
You know, you make a great point, because I brought people into homes which I knew were great homes, but the listing agent didn't take great photos. I knew the floor plan, I knew the area, and I'm like, these just aren't good photos. And I know I'm gonna keep this home in my back pocket, right? Okay, so reasons why homes aren't selling. We brought up price, number one. We talked about photos and photography. What else?
Well, within that photography, you have to, as professionals, we coach the sellers and say, prepare your home for the photos. We're not coming in today and tomorrow and taking photos. We want you to pre-stage your home. So if you are willing to stage your home in the cost of professional staging, it's proven statistically, yes, it works, yes, it helps sell your home, hands down, because not everybody's furniture and decor will appease the most 90% of the public that walks through. However, if you're not willing to stage and we need to work with what we have, yes, we're going to ask for you to declutter your home, take down all of the photos of 900 pictures of the grandkids and of your kids and of the photos. Like we're making it less of a museum and more of a show home. And think of if you're going to model homes as the builders present. We want your home to be presentable, where they're looking at your home and the features and the structure, and to buy the home, they're not looking at your grandkids' photos. They're not looking at your religious beliefs of your things we have displayed. So our job is to help you prepare your home for photos, and then secondly, it would have to be the condition, right? The condition of a home is hands down half the battle when thinking of majority of our homes were built in the 90s here. So we're talking 20 to 30-year-old properties now. Half of them are original condition. You see the gold brass everywhere. You see the original condition properties that they think are top dollar. Hey, my house should sell just like the one across the street. Well, no, because if that guy had his home remodeled 3 years ago, that thing is stunning, turnkey, ready to go. Why would you think your home in original condition that has 30 years of wear and tear is going to compete with the new remodel? It just doesn't. Right. So what we do is walk with me through your home. Let me show you what I see in the eyes of a buyer and in the eyes of a professional trained eye. I'm going to walk through the home with you and say, we're going to remove this, we're going to put this away, put this in storage in the garage, clean up this, get your professional home cleaners to clean up the water buildup of the calcified water. We see things that people overlook because we all do it. We walk into our homes and we don't see the everyday stuff. A buyer will see it, smell it, sniff it, touch it, and that's our job, is to
you brought up a good point. So what you just said, where is that in the listing to sell process? Where is that?
Well, it would be great if you allow more than one real estate professional to interview for the job of selling your home, because not every agent will have a listing presentation the right way or the same way. There's guys that will come out there and say, I guarantee you I'll sell your house and it'll be $100,000 overpriced. They know it. Right. Sign on the dotted line. Let me just get that listing. If it's on paper and you sign on paper, you're committed to that brokerage until you expire. So the second thing is, you can hear somebody tell you what you want to hear and blow smoke up your rear, but you need to hear what you need to hear from. It may be hurting your feelings, but you need to hear the professional feedback and input where it's not going to upset your expectations. and then get a real professional to sell it the way it needs to be said. So some some sellers may not want to sign the agreement, but they want to know what you're going to do. I did have a couple times where the sellers, I've talked to them through the listing presentation, even though they never signed on the dotted line, they were still interviewing a couple other agents to list their home. I didn't have it in the bag, I didn't have this listing, but I knew and saw their home that I said, you need some help right out of the gate, let me help you. And I did point out things that they did take to heart and they did come back to me.
So you touched on a couple points that I want to go back over. And number one is a lot of agents or listing agents that you interview tell you what you want to hear. So if they ask you what a price is and the seller tells, oh, I would like to get this price, and they're very quick to say, okay, that is a huge red flag, because what you just said is you just signed an agreement.
You can't get out of it that easy.
Yeah, they will apologize down the road when they say, well, your home is overpriced. Well, why didn't you tell me that when we were talking about before I signed on the dotted line?
Can I interject?
Yeah, please.
Why is it that a seller will ask for a commission cut and say, I want you to do a discounted commission, but they want you to do the most and have the most efforts and the most stuff for that? That also comes into play when you're setting yourself up for failure, when you hire the wrong listing agent, because you yourself are saying, I don't want to pay commissions, but I want the highest price. Well, you're going to sign on that line when the guy lies to you and says, yeah, I'll list your house for what you want. The seller always wants the higher price, but it's our job to tell you, you have this competition next door, and it is not likely that you're going to get this number that you're hoping for. It's our job to give you the truth, even though it might hurt, that you want to sell your house before your neighbor. Why are you going to help sell theirs?
That's some crazy math. So I'd like to let's just walk through that process for just 1 second. So let's just do some simple math, right? 1% of a commission on a $500,000 house is what?
$5,000.
Okay. So is it worth it to you to have an enormous headache, not a smooth process, you actually doing your own work, like cleaning your house up, giving you the feedback, doing your own showings, having very poor marketing, and then taking an extra, even if it does get sold, 120 days to 6 months for $5,000.
Yeah.
Is it your time worth that?
No, and another thing is in the quote of time is money, would you rather sell it or do you want to sit around for 6 to 9 months? Yeah. Because in 5 years, you guys are going to all sit around table talking to friends and family at dinner, and you're going to say, I've had this experience. It was the worst time selling my house. And everybody has stories. There are good stories, bad stories, smooth stories, and nightmares. You don't want to be the guy that says, I ruined the sale for $5,000.
Yeah,
It means nothing down the road.
Couple of non-negotiables that we say right away. Number one is, you're not just hiring me, you're hiring the whole team.
Whole team.
Number two, our job is the 3 Ps, right? So what's the 3 Ps?
People, problems, and paperwork.
We handle all of those issues, which, for me, and why I have so many repeat clients is that it's important to me to have a smooth transition, a great handoff with a seller to a buyer, and make everybody happy. Not just my side, but also the other side as well.
Well, can we also share a secret that a lot of consumers don't know? And this is the misnomer out there where we're rated like a used car salesman in a way. Is it true we don't get paid to put this sign in the yard and say for sale? And we don't get paid to be Vanna White and say, hey, here's a house, let's look at it. When do we actually get paid? And when do we earn? We earn our money and we earn our value in the 30 days of paperwork through that transaction. Now,
Yeah, we actually don't, our real work, so getting into contract isn't really part of what we do. Our real work, what we get paid for it, is while we're in contract. Once we get the offer accepted, until we hear the magic words of out for recording, that is what we get paid to do.
So a traditional transaction, and the escrow is usually 30 days. If there's a loan involved, it's a 30-day escrow. That's when we're doing all the work. When you guys are sleeping and going to work and you guys are under contract, we are working every day. It's paperwork. It's, staying on time with contingency periods. We are working with the escrow company, title company, the lenders, the processors, the appraisers, the inspectors, everything that's behind the scenes. There's a million working parts. That's when we're working. It's not just hey, you sold my house and it was so easy, you did nothing. Actually, all of our work comes those 30 days.
Okay, you're getting way off topic. So, all right, so we talked about getting your home. Well, we did go off on a really deep hole there. So get back on point. We were talking about getting the home, preparing the home for listing photos, preparing the home for showings.
All right, and now let's just touch real quick the condition of your home. Right. We're not asking you to do a full remodel, but if there are obvious repairs and obvious breaks and things that don't work, it would be very wise to get one handyman in there and have them go through your house to fix things. No buyer wants to have 100 little things to do with their handyman. Even though we see it and it's a non-issue, it doesn't scare us because it's call a handyman and get it done. But no buyer wants to see a list from an inspection report and say, fix the wash machine, it's leaking. The dishwasher doesn't work. The leak in the upstairs tub. All of these little things that just happen over time of living in your house, just fix them. It's easier to pay a handyman to just go through your house and make it fine.
Well, yeah, and let me touch on that. So what you're saying, and I completely agree with you, is that the buyer's mentality has changed. There has been in the past where they're like, oh, I'll take a fixer-upper. Oh, I don't mind some honeydew stuff. Or they may be of the mentality like, oh, ka-ching, ka-ching, I'm going to take it off my offer price.
Oh, yeah.
The mentality, to me, is completely changed, where people want move-in, ready, clean homes. Mm-hmm. They want nothing to do. And I'll give you a case of one on the Segway. How many people out there nowadays do their own oil change?
Nobody. Well, you can't even open the engine.
They can't even fix a tire or a flat tire. Yeah. So, what would you think about a $500,000 to $1 million home? They don't want to fix anything. They want move-in ready homes.
Well, let's just talk. I agree 100%. But let me just say, if I got an inspection report and I see caulking needs to be done, or the weather stripping in the garage or the front door has a little bit of air, and I see, let's just call it 5 or 10 things that I see a million times a day, I know it's a non-issue. Your house isn't going to fall down. A handyman or a contractor, somebody can fix it. And let's just say everything on this list might cost you $2,000, but a buyer and a buyer's agent will say, let's ask for 20 grand. They do not know the value to fix it versus the value they see as it's not good enough for me, I'm going to lowball them. Why are you going to take a $10,000 credit for repairs when it will only cost you $2,000 to do it? Am I right?
Well, yeah, and you're hitting a big subject for me because of the entire steps of a escrow process is not the appraisal, it's not negotiating the price. It's not a contingent upon sale. The hardest segue of a contract is getting through the home inspection.
Hands down, it's the number one hurdle to overcome.
Trust me, if you're worrying about it, we are definitely worrying about it. But we know that going in. We know that during the listing appointment. We know the weaknesses, the blemishes of the home. We caution you and say, okay, this will probably come up in a home inspection. we either address it now or we address it during the home inspection period. So we've given both advices, right? If it's kind of a like to do versus I need to do, right? If there's an AC unit, like deal breakers, right?
Yeah.
An AC unit, hot water heater, leaky, whatever, stains, you know that ahead of time.
We know what the caution red flags are gonna be, so it's very helpful to get through this the right way together.
Okay, so having your home ready, I'm keeping you on point.
I know.
Keep home ready for showings. What else?
Well, a big thing that people like to do, and mind you, when you're living in it and you're enjoying it, it's great. But when you hyper personalize or make your home so unique that it's a one-off and everybody's like, whoa, bright purple walls, bright neon green carpet, or let's just call it the Overland masculine home where there might be black marble in the kitchen, black marble in the bathrooms, the showers, or something so gaudy where you have checkered gold floors, but then the next room will have different flooring, and then you have
the
like
purple paint, in the Prince room.
Yeah. Or you've got just, let's just call it, you have a passion of art, but your entire home is one big art museum. It's too much for somebody to look through. They're so distracted that they no longer see your house. And I would say we're selling real property. We're selling the home, the structure, and what they can do. We're not selling your furniture. A lot of times, can I just put that little sidetrack? Furniture is a deal breaker sometimes. People either want it or they don't, and they're saying, hey, I like the furniture. I'm like, focus on the house. We're buying the house, we're not furniture salesmen. So keep in your lane, because I have a lot of homes that fall out of escrow and people get mad because they can't have the furniture too. It's very strange, but let's move on. Don't overly do something to your home where it's so shocking that somebody doesn't even want the headache to make it back to normal and a neutral path to make it their home.
Yeah, I mean, 2 comments on that. One is, if you paint the wall, like say it's bright neon orange, the cost of you painting the wall
nothing. It's cheap.
Is nothing, and it's 10x
20x
for the
for
the buyer requesting for that to be painted.
I painted a wall on a listing I had that the guy couldn't sell it in over 6 months, and he had a bright neon orange wall, and I called our painter. He did 3 walls in the house and we got an offer in like 3 weeks. It makes a difference, but it's kind of nothing. But when your whole house is done like that, it's overwhelming for a buyer to think it's their project, even though it's a quick fix.
So would we will go through during a listing present, or getting ready for photos, or getting the home listed to sell, we will recommend a few things for you to do to make the home a little more standardized. But on that same subject, I do want to emphasize that yes, you're selling your personal home. Yes, you're selling some memories. Yes, you're selling some years on the home, but it is a business transaction. So in that sense, you just have to be compartmentalized.
Remove your emotion.
Because
we know you love your home, and we know sellers have all of their family memories. But there's no room for getting your feelings hurt and getting offended. When a buyer is asking to buy your home, we have to remove the emotion. And that's why there are buyer's agents and seller agents, because buyers and sellers are not supposed to meet and know each other. That is why we have representation.
Well, yeah, and I have to yank my own little chain sometimes, because, and you too, we get too emotionally attached to the home, because we, as agents, kind of take it more personally, the home. Like I've said to something, like, gosh, we care more about this home
than the seller does.
The seller does. Not you, seller, not you watching.
But we do. We take pride in what we do and our craft.
Okay.
But it's like, we're going to hold your hand through the process and just march every day down the steps, and we get to the finish line together.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
So what are some other reasons why a home is not selling? What else?
Curb appeal is one thing.
Well, I think, as we touched on a minute ago, I think the agent is not, your current agent And I'll actually, before we even stop there, is that if you listen to how many times do we see a listing expire and they'll say yes to the second agent, but not the first agent? Think about that. Think about that. How many times do you say, well, yeah, they recommended doing that, but you're the second person that said that, and I've interviewed, they've all said the same thing, I guess I'll take your advice. You should have listened to the first professional that you hired.
Well, we're advisors, right? We're Vegas real estate advisors. Our job is to advise you the best of our knowledge and our experience of the years that we see what works and what doesn't work. But don't get offended if we tell you our advice is just from the years and what we see. It's not to piss you off.
I mean, our ultimate goal, just to let everybody know, is that we want the home in contract within 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning it takes, we've got to get the home ready, we've got to do social media, we've got to take high quality photos, we have to launch it, we have to get it on all of the media, internet platforms. That takes, and then it has the launch, so it takes, about 7 to 10 days to get it kind of in the system, in the interwebs. And then people to schedule travel, that's a good 7 to 14 days. But if everything is humming, our goal is to have that home sold in contract in 30 days. So I would say that a big reason why a home doesn't sell is the agent is not aggressively marketing the home.
Right. Now marketing, advertising, explain what we do.
Well, and that's why I said before is that you're not just hiring me, you're hiring a whole team, right? So I may be great on the entire listing portion, the photos portion, and getting everything just exactly right, but I have I have a team member, hey, I need help with an open house. Sure, no problem, I'll be there this Saturday. Or I need help with postcards or flyers or direct mail. I'll go to another agent or I'll go to our title company. So that's why you're paying that. If someone says, I'll do it for 1%, that actually should be a red flag for you. You should be saying, okay, what are you not doing?
Right.
Yes, I get what you're doing, but what are you not doing? That is actually the question, the second question when someone says that, or would you discount your commissions? Okay, I'm discounting my commissions, that means I'm not going to do social media. Because this
do YouTube.
I mean, guys, photos cost, high quality photos plus Twilight, $300 to $500, social media, $600
for photos.
Drones.
That's now like $600.
So
drone is an extra add-on.
Trust me, if someone is going, oh yeah, I'll do 1%, let me get on my iPhone and I'll take some photos right now, that should be a real red flag.
We do drone, we do virtual tours, we do walkthroughs where you can click and walk through Matterport. I mean, we do everything.
And I think there's a number of sellers out there, and why they don't sell or they expire is that they actually didn't maybe look at their photos or the description. Or I'll give you a real funny one that I don't know an agent that doesn't laugh about this. When we see a property description in all caps.
You're yelling, this is a 3-bedroom house!
I mean, if you got an email and it was all caps, even if it was nice, like, hey, John Bob, I hope you're having a great day, and blah, 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 can't wait to see you. It sounds like you being yelled at.
Yeah.
We kind of laugh when we see the listing photos in all caps.
Or the description, listing description.
Yep. Or what you guys don't see also is that we see is the agent-to-agent remarks.
Yep.
When there's like just one sentence. And just for everyone out there to know is that during the agent, so a property description to me describes a property in words that entices a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
The agent-to-agent remarks is to another agent that entices the agent to set up a showing for their client. Am I wrong or am I right?
Oh, you're right, because we also work together, and like the professionalism of tell us more in the agent remarks, so we know what kind of agent is on the other side and what we're going to be working with.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's nothing there, we're like, oh great, they just slapped it. There's no backstory of how to help sell this. What does your seller need? What terms do they need? Do they need
Yeah.
a long escrow, a short escrow? Give us some insight to help sell the home, to
Right.
help us sell your home.
Right, exactly, because
Give us
we'll
more
have
insights.
agents and they'll say, okay, is there any, I mean, if an agent is very serious, their client is very serious about the home, the first thing they're gonna do is call the agent up and say, okay,
What do they need?
What
What
do
does
they
your
need?
seller need? You know,
Yeah.
how do we make this work?
how can we sweeten the pot? How can
Yeah.
we make the deal work? What you need?
Now
That should be in the
also,
agent remarks.
a buyer may need concessions.
Yeah.
And a buyer will say, I need 1 or 2% back in closing costs. So the agent on the buyer side and the agent on the seller side should be working together on how to cut up the pizza pie with price and terms and credits. We're all trying to make this work for both parties. That's where our jobs come to play.
Right.
Don't just, lowball me on the price, ask for the moon, and then your bottom number is so offensive you get a rejection. Instead of help us. Buyers move from other markets and other cities. They need time to move. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of terms that we're talking about.
Yeah, and I'll give you a hidden thing about real estate agents, right? There's 16,000 agents in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
And only, we kind of, it's kind of our NAR statistic. We're like, okay, out of that 16,000 agents, there's only 20% of them doing the business. Now, the reason I say that is that for us, and especially me being a team leader, our agents, we know right away if you're dealing with a seasoned agent or a brand new agent, right? If you're on the other side, whether it's buyer, seller, whatever. And we have a different approach we already know with a degree of certainty of how the entire transaction will go based on who's the other side, right? So if it's a seasoned agent, we're like, oh man, it was smooth sailing. Okay, you need anything, you let me know, vice versa, where it's gonna be a great smooth transaction. How many times do we say that on the phone?
Oh yeah.
Because they're a seasoned agent. They know what they're doing. And on the flip side, if it's a brand new agent, we're like, hey, listen, if you haven't done that many transactions, let me know. We'll do some heavy lifting on our side to help you out, whatever you need. And we get sometimes we get pushback when the agent's like, hey, I'm faking it till I make it. And they act like they know what they're doing. But we know that too. We know that, oh yeah, they're gonna mess this up. They're gonna mess the contingency up. We need to be prepared on our side.
We try and foretell the future. We're looking at dates, expiration dates, if we need extensions, what the obstacles are going to be to overcome in the next jump to get to the next thing.
All right, so that rabbit hole, that distraction rabbit hole was completely my fault.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? What are other reasons why a home does not sell?
It could be the fact that we are a seasonal market.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, Henderson, our beautiful little valley, we can get scorching hot. And a lot of people cannot handle the heat, so you will see a third of elderly and sick illness, they can't handle the heat. So there's a lot quieter time during the extreme heat of the summer. Another thing is when school is out, families are either traveling or they're moving, so it can be families relocating, but that's
right. So
continue.
Yeah, so the strategy of selling your home is based on the seasonality or what specific month you are in, right? So case in point,
Holidays.
No home sell. We already know no home
All
sell.
Christmas.
Basically, after the first week November, we see it all the time because we're actually busy. So all the agents are kind of leaving after the second week or first week of November. all the way really crazy until the end of January.
New Year's Eve.
There's no agents to be around. They're all gone. So that's why I say we're busy, because no one else is really around, because nothing really sells. So think about it. People are thinking about holidays, incremental spending, traveling. They're not thinking about buying or selling a home. So that strategy has to be in it. And we work both sides of that, right? We have sellers that are desperate to sell. So the buyers come in like sharks, or the investors do. But we have to be prepared for that strategy. And the flip side, we know what you just said. When school is out, that's when we're really, really busy. So May until second week in August, that's high hunting season for us.
Mm-hmm.
So seasonality is a really, really big thing for us in our market, right?
Absolutely.
I can't speak for other markets. I just focus on this. So that is probably a really big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else?
Well, this is about why your house isn't selling, but then now we are going to say what to do to get your home sold.
All right, before I do that, let's just in synopsis. So, top reasons: the price is too high. Photos, marketing.
Condition.
There's too much competition in your area.
Can I touch on competition?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so we all know that people look at comps. Show me the comps, right? You guys all go to Zillow and look at what sold anyway. So you already have done your preliminary homework for us, and we come in with our homework. And is it true? It's like, hey, let me get you a CMA, or a comparative market analysis. You already know what your neighbor's home sold for. Now, instead of a comp, a comparable, let's talk about competition. A comp for competition is now the new thing. You are up against the active homes for sale in your neighborhood. If you have one home for sale and you're going to be coming on a second home for sale, that's it. You've got one guy to knock down and beat out. But if you have 9 listings in your subdivision, your house and your buyer do not care what's sold in that neighborhood. They're looking at, I have 9 homes to choose from. What's the best one that has the most features and benefits for the least price? That's the house that sells the fastest. Am I right?
Well, yeah, and you're talking about when I really, really harp on. So once we're active listing, that's where we talk about strategy, how to be strategic, right?
Because you don't want to sell your neighbor's house before you sell yours.
You're going to be fully knowledgeable and say, okay, listen, we're priced here. These 2 homes are priced here. These are your active competition, not what's sold. We need to beat them to the punch and get in contract first. Now, people that don't, a big mistake is if you're overpriced, you're actually marketing and listing your home to help your competition.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, dead on, spot on.
They're not going to go to your home. They're going to go to the other home that's $10,000 cheaper. It's the exact same home.
Well, do you guys do that when you go buy a car? You're going to go to the BMW, and if you get the sport package with every bell and whistle, and it's $5,000 or $10,000 under the basic stock model, you're going for the bigger, badder one for the less price. That's real estate in a nutshell, right?
Yes, and what makes it even more harder needle to thread is that we're competing with new builds.
Oh, the new build
and
is
new builds
everywhere.
are offering new builds, and I mean we can talk about new builds a whole other thing, but
we should.
You're competing against new builds, and they have special pricing.
They have incentives that bring you to their community. They offer incentives that a resale seller of a used house will never be able to give you, $30,000 towards your closing cost, 3% locked in. So builders are a whole nother ballgame that we're up against. So as a seller, when you're selling your home, we also make sure you're up against that builder. You can't compete.
Sorry, so let me get back before you completely took us down another rabbit hole. So in summation, the price, photos, marketing, right? Competition, home condition, home's too personalized, home has to be ready to sell.
Vegas ready.
Yep. your agent is not aggressive in the marketing side of it, and then seasonality.
Right.
Anything else to throw in the pot?
I think we're good.
So, I mean, hopefully you got some value out of that. We would love to know, just start the conversation, give us a call, Vegas Real Estate Advisors. Hit us in the comment, and I would love to see where you're watching us from.
Yeah, where are you from?
And hopefully, you know, it added just, if you got anything out of it, just one little thought of like, oh, hey, that's something I need to consider, right?
Yeah, and in fairness, this is a public service, a little help that we're trying to provide.
And not just
Because-
buyers and sellers, agents too.
Agents too. Okay, here's something to take a nice takeaway. When you are selling your home, you are trying to get the best price for your home. But take yourself out of your house, and you're gonna have to go buy a house, right? You're now putting on your buyer hat. Now you're looking through the eyes of a buyer. And what do you do when you go buy a house? You're looking for the best priced home that's awesome. And then you ask your agent, what should I offer him? Can I get a deal? Should I go 50,000 under? No, but think about it.
Okay.
The buyer always wants a deal, and the seller always wants the most.
Right.
Put yourself in each other's shoes, because you are always in each other's shoes when it's time for you to buy your next house, just as when it's time for you to sell your next house. All this is finding a meeting of the minds, because everybody wants to feel like they got a deal. Fair?
Right.
Everybody does. It just makes you feel good. You don't want to buy a house and feel bad like, oh, they just screwed me over. All it is let's open the conversation. Let's see if we found somebody that loves your home, somebody that wants to sell it, and let's make a deal.
You could go on and on. Maybe we should make a part 2 to this, because I was closing it out. So
Okay, fine.
You're segueing to a part 2.
Great. Well, then come back for part 2. Okay, again, where are you watching from? Are you moving, or are you just kind of watching YouTube? And
I'm James. You're
I'm Denise Asena from Vegas Real Estate Advisors.
all right.
All right.
Bye bye.